Hello Virgo, thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Vailima Tarot by Renata Lechner. For the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Alright, let's see. I already shuffled. Virgo. There's a, okay. Oh, okay. No. Yes. Okay. All right. So we're coming into this situation. It feels like, and granted, I know, especially with the general reads, it depends on what part of the story you're in, if this is hitting. Some people, they tune into this right in the beginning when this is just starting. Some people in the middle. Some people tell me they're looking back and getting clarity. So wherever it is you're starting, where this situation is starting, the kickoff is like the Wheel of Fortune is on your side, and I feel like the Wheel of Fortune, is it turning in your favor? Yeah. The Wheel of Fortune is turning, and I'm getting it's turning as much in your favor as not. That seems interesting, because it usually goes one way or the other. How does it do both? I'm feeling you're kind of looking at this like through third-party glasses, if that makes sense. You're watching a situation, the wheel is turning. For the people you're connected with, some of them it's going well, other people it's not. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So like when the situation is changing, the wheel is turning. For some of the people you're connected with, that's a good thing. For others that you're connected with, that's not a good thing. But it's only turning one way. It is only turning one way. Because I was like, is it going back and forth? Like, what are we doing here? No, it's turning one way. Some people you're connected with, it's good. Other people's, it's not. You seem to be reacting to it in a third-party perspective where you're like, oh, good for them. You're like, oh, not so good for them. All right, is that good? Okay, now, the Judgment is here in the center. Judgment has been rendered is what I'm getting. This is really what's kicking in. Like some people are getting the good side of the stick, other people are not. And I feel like the way this is starting off in this situation, like Judgment has been rendered, but I feel like it is, especially in the beginning, like was it fair or not? At first, I don't feel like it's clear if it was fair or not. I feel like it's not really clear. I still feel like your part of you feels good for some and not so good for the other. It's kind of for you, third-party perspective. And I'm getting in the other side, it's kind of like what's going to keep the situation stable. It seems to be stabilizing the situation. Is that correct? Or is that off? That feels divided again. Some people are it's getting better for them. Other people seem to be losing their grasp. Their grip. Let me pick a word and stick with it here. It feels very 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other, but I'm like, is that, it's like you're looking at a situation, it's going well for some, but other people it's not. The people it's going well for, it's stabilizing things. But, and it's not like, it's not making the other side unstable, it's just they're losing something. Like, something's being taken away is kind of what it feels like. And I feel like the way like the situation Judgment has been rendered, you're not really sure if this is fair or not, but this is what's happening. Okay. Now we're stepping forward. I feel like it may take a few weeks, to be fair, before you really see this. But I feel like what's happening is it's becoming quite apparent that justice has been served. Justice isn't always fun. Justice doesn't always feel good. Like, you know, we all make missteps in life, and sometimes when justice comes in and smacks us around a bit, it's not the most enjoyable moment, but, you know, sometimes you can look back and go, well, I guess I see how that was fair. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. It's kind of like, all right, it was fair. Do I like it? Well, I don't know if I go that far, but, yeah, I see how it was fair. And on your side, I feel like you're just coming to terms with it. Like, yeah, it wasn't the easiest way for justice to come in, but, I mean, it was justice. It was fair. Was it the easiest way for that to happen? I don't know about that, but yeah, I guess. Like, I feel like you're begrudgingly kind of like, yeah, I guess that worked out fairly. Like, I feel like that's kind of how you're feeling about it. Like, yeah, I guess it was fair. I don't feel like you're pushing that opinion, by the way. I feel like you're just kind of like coming to terms with it on your own. It just feels more like, yeah, I guess, yeah. You're not expecting other people to feel the same way, but the way you're looking at it from like this third-party perspective, you're like, yeah, I guess that did work out fairly. Now, I'm getting the people that it turned not so well for, they seem to be kind of like walking away from whatever went against them or didn't go their way. They seem to be kind of distancing themselves from the situation as much as they can. They seem to be, I just feel like a lack of interest after that. But the ones that it went for seem to be more, this seems to be more affecting you, the people that the wheel turned in favor of. I feel them like, are they also kind of going on their own? No. Are they including you? Yes, they're including you. The ones that this went in their favor, they seem to be trying to pull you towards them. And when I'm getting the magical powers, this is very reminiscent of like the Magician card usually, at least the way I read it. I feel like things are coming out of this, things are growing. I feel like they're pulling you in. They're trying to pull you into the situation now that it's going to their favor. And it seems like they have a lot of ideas about what they want to do, and they want you to be a part of it. But when it goes forward a little farther, I'm noticing that the Hierophant kind of step in as well. They're only allowing you limited access. Limited. There's like your connection with the situation is very limited, is what I'm getting. And I feel like that seems to be a big thing here. When they're pulling you in, and they have all these ideas, and I feel like they're showing you all these things they want to do, blah, 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 blah. But then when it comes to all of this, as you go forward, you're seeing like, yeah, there's all this going on, but I'm only allowed this much of that. It's almost like a birthday party, and you're allowed a slice of cake and not the ice cream or the party favors. I think that makes sense. Like you're like, oh, this looks great, and you're like, oh, I'm only allowed this piece of cake. I mean, it's a piece of cake, and that's nice, but I did want some of that ice cream. And how about some party favors? Nope, you're limited to the cake. I hope that makes sense. I think that does. It's not bad, but I feel like as you're going forward, realizing you have limited access, I feel like that's bothering you. Because I feel on the other side with the Page of Cups. This, oddly enough, like they're enjoying the situation, but I feel like they're looking at the situation like it's a good situation, but there's only so much to go around, and they're trying to make sure that they enjoy it as much as possible now that the situation's gone their way. I'm getting a very limited feel here. Even though it's good, the Page of Cups is good, it's more passive, granted, but I feel like the reason we have this card here is like they're viewing it like it's limited, like there's only so much. And they want to make sure that they enjoy it as much as they can now that things have gone their way. They do want to share it, and they are sharing it with you a little bit. But I feel like it's just like the situation isn't like, it's not like there's a crazy amount of abundance, but there's enough. How's that? But I feel like they're restricting. This energy feels like it's restricting. They feel very happy. They feel very good about how things are going. They have dogs in the background that bark incessantly, just randomly, because my uncle's probably outside, but that's fine. Sorry about that. Is there anything else here that we need with this? I just find it interesting how that card's coming through, but it's interesting. I'm noticing on your side the reaction to this, because it feels like, I don't feel like you like this. I gotta be honest, even though, all right, you're allowed the cake. They give you, it's like you get a slice of cake, but no ice cream, no party favors. I just feel like this doesn't sit well with you. It just feels like the control about this situation doesn't feel right to me. Like, this doesn't feel, when I'm feeling the Page energy with the way it's trying to come in with like a limited control, it doesn't feel natural to me. It feels like somebody's trying to control something or trying to elongate something that like instead of like limiting people, they should just like have the party, and like when it's done, it's done. but they're trying to elongate something, and I just feel like this passive-aggressive, it does feel passive, like passive-aggressive feel to it. Like, yeah, well, we want it to last, so we're only going to allow this much to other people. Like, it doesn't feel good, and I'm getting the Nine of Swords for you is like, you're kind of like, I wish I just never got involved with this situation. That's how I feel. When you're getting to that point and you're seeing your limited access, you're kind of like, I just wish I never got involved with this. That's what I'm getting. Now, as you're moving on from this situation, this is definitely making an effect on you. It wasn't really that bad. It just didn't feel like, I just feel like you're looking at it like, you know what, if they were that limited, I'd rather they just kept it. Like, I didn't really need that cake. They could have kept their piece of cake. Because I feel like that you're just regretting getting involved with it. And I'm getting like, you're realizing how the situation works now, and you're seeing how this balances out. And I'm getting the Temperance with the Wisdom. I do feel like over time you're distancing yourself from this element, from this connection. Like, whatever they pulled you into, I feel like you're disconnecting yourself from it slowly because you don't like how it feels. You're just kind of like, I don't really think I want to be a part of this, but I don't want to make waves. So I feel like you're slowly pulling yourself out of it. Now, hopefully if you come to this at the right point, when somebody's trying to pull you in and you realize, okay, yeah, everything worked out fairly, and you're at that point back here when we were talking about, you're like, all right, yeah, I guess so. You're keeping it to yourself, but you feel like things worked out fairly. And you're like, all right, yeah, it was justice. Okay, I get that. It's fine. When people are trying to pull you in, I feel like if you just kind of like move on and let them pull somebody else in, just try to like make it so I just feel like you don't really want to be a part of this. I feel like that's the point. Even though they have the Magician, that means they're making the situation what they want it to be. It doesn't mean you're obligated to be a part of it. So I feel like if you see this coming forward, you might even have some past reference to realize it's probably going to go this way anyway. General read, I know. But my advice, or what I feel like we're getting from this, is just maybe just skip it altogether. Like, why be involved in it? And I feel like you might have past reference, you know, to where this kind of thing happens in this situation. Are we good? We're good. All right, I think we got the message out. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.